I am honored and delighted to be welcoming to these platforms 2026 International Tennis Hall of Fame inductee Mary Carillo. Mary,
Hello.
congratulations. I hadn't said that in our little pre-chatter yet, but yes, congratulations on
Ben.
this big honor. I was very excited for you and to have an excuse to talk to you here, or a time pegs. Always want to. How has it been for you? I guess I don't know what the timeline of. I know when as a voter, I wasn't voting in your group. I vote for the recent player
Right.
category, but I got when saw your nomination and then your admission. What's the sort of last however many weeks, months has been in the works for? How's this ride been for you on the Hall of Fame journey?
The day it came out, Ben, I had to recharge my phone a couple of times. Just
Nice.
getting some really nice messages and texts and emails and phone calls. It was, I mean, I can only imagine what Roger was going through, but
Yeah.
everyone knew Roger was going in. So
Maybe fewer people have his number in fairness.
You know, also, yeah, I'm in the yellow pages. So
Yeah.
yeah. But it was actually, it was very, very nice.
Yeah.
I honestly, I didn't see that one coming. So, I mean, I knew I was nominated, but it's an international tennis hall of fame. I know people who speak English. You know, I've been around for decades, so, but I'm just a little surprised that
Mm.
I got at least 75% of the votes from people, that might live somewhere else. It was a
Well, yeah.
good.
I mean, I'm curious. I guess then what has sort of been your relationship with the Hall of Fame and even the notion that you might get into it someday? Because I know I'm sure I've said to your face in the past I thought you should be in years ago, and other people I'm sure have said similar things to you in this contributor category. You seem like a perfect contributor. You do nothing but contribute, really. So
What
how I mean,
exactly is it I'm contributing, Ben? I mean,
well, we'll get into that, but
we've known
I
each
think
other a
you
long time.
no,
I
no.
mean,
Well, I've known you, in this one sided relationship a bit before you knew me because I was there. I can tell you, like, I can paint pictures for you. Basically, I was in during, I went to college in Michigan, and during the winter semester, so January semester, basically. They only have fall and winter. There's no spring at Michigan. You don't get that there. I would schedule classes to like not start before like 1 p.m. And that most of the time, most years I did that, and then would sit like next to the TV in my dorm room with the volume at like 1 bar while my roommate was asleep, like or like 1 inch from the screen, basically ruining my ears and eyes, listening to you, calling matches from Melbourne, or obviously the whole rest of the ESPN crew also, but you were a huge part of that, and you were a huge part of sort of I think what drew me to tennis really as I was thinking about it was I was getting ready for this. Like I think your combination, and I've come to know you obviously more personally, but your combination of sort of irreverence and reverence and sort of and being having fun with it and also taking it seriously, but the fun part too, and that's the thing that as time goes on, I think it's the rarer gift, of being able to sort of point out the absurdities of things, and it all comes from, and it's a very absurd sport, as you'll know. But it all comes, I mean, it all comes from me from this sort of place of honesty that I feel like is your core as a broadcaster and as a person from what I know of you, and that shines through, and that sort of authenticity and realness is what I connected to as a tennis fan. So I don't know that I would be having a career or whatever remains of it in tennis if it wasn't for you sort of casting the spell and you setting the scene in the way you did for many years. So I thank and blame you for that.
those are very, very kind words, Ben. But
Yeah.
honestly, I mean, you have a very authentic voice too.
Yeah.
And I like for somebody like me, usually usually people who are in a booth, they've won Wimbledon, they've won, majors, they've won, there's a really good reason for people to maybe want to listen to what they think.
Mm.
And I didn't have any of that. I had none of those bona fides. So
You had the one
uh,
French Open mixed title, which I'm sure everyone will
oh,
mention. Yes.
exactly. And there's nothing harder to win than the French Open mixed doubles with John McEnroe.
Oh, were you that was his only mixed slam, right? You're the only woman who managed to do that.
Yes.
So that's a
Yeah.
feat. That's a feat. That's a feat.
But no, but so what I'm saying is like what the hell else am I going to contribute but,
Mm.
my honest opinion about things, even if it, and we both know how much trouble I've gotten in for and how much
Hmm.
work I've lost for being that way. But